Hello, everyone out there. This is Brady Speers, the co-host of Safe Retirement Experts radio show. Just wanted to take a few minutes today and talk to you about a topic that Chris and I talk about with everyone we meet all the time, and that's what I call stinking thinking. So if you give me a couple minutes, I'm going to walk you through just a few things about what we call stinking thinking. Now, what is stinking thinking? Well, stinking thinking is just that. It's thinking in your head. It's not right. It certainly is going to have an effect on your retirement game plan if you don't listen and have wise, smart thinking take over instead of stinking thinking. So let's get down to it. What is stinking thinking? Well, stinking thinking is, you know what? I know I really want to protect my money, and I know that I lost money in the past, and I know that the market's really high, and experts are saying it's going to come down at some point, and I know that if I lose, it would be catastrophic to my income retirement plan, and I know that everyone around me is saying I need to have safe money assets, and I need to protect my nest egg and make sure I have guarantees for income purposes in retirement. I know all those things, but yet, gosh, the market sure is mesmerizing, and look at all those numbers that are going up and all those home runs everybody's hitting. When you start listening to what the media is saying about you, when you start listening to what the market experts are saying that are pushing you into the market, and you start listening to those brokers that are telling you, oh, you don't want to miss out on the growth of the market, and yet you put all those things I listed earlier aside and ignore what all the other experts are saying, and ignore what your conscience is saying, ignore what your spouse is saying, ignore what we're saying to you, and you ignore those things to go try to get that home run in the market, that's what I call stinking thinking. So let me just take a few minutes and kind of prove to you what I'm talking about. Let's start off, first of all, by looking at what some experts out there said about the market a few years ago. When they said the market was going to go on this unbelievable run, these are people that manage, by the way, millions and billions of dollars in the market through fund managers, and look what they had to say. Let me pull this up real quick, and this will make some sense to you. Brokers in 2011, get this, the new normal, a strategist back in 2011 said they predicted an 11% gain on the S&P 500 in 2011. Now, if you look right here, this was at the end of 2010. I remember this very specifically when they were sitting there saying, no matter what, the market is absolutely going to do amazing things this coming year. It's going to be phenomenal, and no matter what, we will have a great year. And if you turn around and look at the next year, everyone's expecting, right, an 11% gain, because my goodness, when these guys are saying this, Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs, you name it, are all saying we're going to have a great year. Well, when you get down to it over here, let's look at the final numbers. They said, okay, we're going to have all these great returns. More than 70% of companies exceeded analyst profit estimates, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have chances are great. Right down here, Jonathan Golub of UBS AG expects at least a 6.8% rise in the S&P. And this article just goes on and on. And you know what it ended up happening? If you go back and look at 2011, guess what happened? Nothing. The market was flat. Forget what they all thought. The market was flat. So what am I saying? The whole point of what I'm saying is even the experts don't know. So why hinge your future, your entire retirement, on what these so-called experts are saying when you can protect your money in safe assets and not have to worry and not lose sleep at night? See, now that's smart thinking, but stinking thinking says, well, what if they were right? You know, what if another 2013-14 happens and the money goes up even 20 or 30% again? Well, what if it does? It's great, right? But the question that a smart man asks is, what if it doesn't? What if I lose? Because the odds are good that the market is going to go down. It goes up, it goes down. It's the Wall Street waltz. It gives and it takes. It's been giving now for a few years in a row. It's been doing great, no doubt about it. But why not protect your money on the downside and still have a lot of those gains? So here's another quick thing about stinking thinking. Stinking thinking also says, well, you know, if you use something like an annuity, you won't be able to get those kinds of returns if the market goes up. Well, again, that's stinking thinking. If you look here on this chart from 98 till 2013, the market, of course, was kind of up and down and then up and down, right? Had you had your money from then until now in an indexed annuity, look, you'd be ahead, because when the market goes down, as you see here, you don't go down with it. You're protected. So you're flat when the market's down. And last time I understood math, a zero is better than a negative. So if you just would have been in an indexed annuity, are you going to get all the gains the market gives? No, that's the trade-off. You'll have to, you accept the fact that you'll have protection on the downside, and you may give up some of that upside. But here's the other myth. You don't have to give up all of the upside. I've got clients getting double-digit returns when the market's good. And if you have someone that knows how to properly structure an annuity when good times are happening in the market, you can take advantage of that growth and have double-digit returns. So that's another thing of Stinkin' Thinkin'. Let me just show you something else. Stinkin' Thinkin' also says, well, we don't have to worry. We don't have to prepare our money for retirement. But the reality is you do. Let's look here at something else. You know what's funny is I'm not a huge Shaquille O'Neal fan, but this guy's very smart when it comes to his money. And the gentleman's made millions of dollars. Everybody knows him as Shaq. He's made all this money in the NBA playoffs. But when he retired and he knew he wasn't going to have those millions coming in anymore, you know what he did? He went down here and if you look at what he says here about his money, when the money came in and he knew he didn't have any more working money because he wasn't going to play anymore, they asked him this question: have you advised NBA players or other athletes on investments? Do they come to you for advice? Well, no, they don't. He says everyone has their own strategy. But listen to what he says. Listen to what Shaq says. My first strategy was, how do I get some money coming back to me after I retire if everything goes wrong? Key phrase, if everything goes wrong. Let's say I made $100 million in investments. How do I still get money? The first thing I got were some annuities. Now, that's what we call smart, wise thinking. He protected his income so that during retirement, he didn't have to worry about his income no matter what happened. Stinkin' Thinkin' says, don't worry about it. The market will eventually pan out, and I'll do all right. So, guys, this is the whole point. When you look at risk on a chart like you see right here, you have to ask yourself, what's my risk tolerance? Smart thinkers eliminate or reduce the risk as they get older, and they protect that nest egg. Think about it. You protect your home with life insurance. You protect your car with car insurance. You protect those you love with life insurance. Why aren't we protecting our nest egg? What we're going to live on the rest of our life. We have to protect it. Smart thinking says, you know what? I'm going to avoid risk as much as I can, and I'm going to invest in fixed, low risk, safe assets, and if I can, I'll get some growth over here, and guess what shows up? Again, indexed annuities are a great way to have smart thinking in retirement. Don't be a stinker thinker. If someone's telling you, no, you don't want to do that, you won't get all the growth, that's not smart, that's stinking thinking. If someone's telling you want to be in the market, it'll eventually ride up, and you know it, just ride with it, hang in there, that's stinking thinking. If someone's trying to charge you 2 or 3% to manage your money even when it goes down, that's stinking thinking. Get clear thinking, get smart thinking, get your money protected. I just wanted to share that with you. Stinking thinking, I see it everywhere. Don't be a part of it. Be wise, be smart, protect your money, protect your nest egg. You know why? So you can have peace of mind in retirement and have the kind of retirement you dreamed about. And we can help you do that. Enjoy yourself, and hope you guys all do well. God bless.
Safe Retirement Experts is a safe money-focused company created to help retirees protect their assets and create long-term income solutions. With offices in Dallas and Houston, we serve clients all over Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas.